Boom, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk today and get a little bit of an update on one of my favorite sets, Paldean Fates, and we're going to talk about a giveaway too. So sit back, relax, and welcome to PokeMarketLab. All right, let's get into it. Like I said in the intro, Paldean Fates, one of my favorite sets. It's done phenomenally well. It's still performing great. Let's get into it. Let's look at some of the box prices first. The Pokemon Center ETB is on fire, I would say. That is a awesome box. This is a great set. It has a really good Mimikyu promo there. It's got a lot going for it. There's only 50 of these listed on TCG Player, so these are just going quickly. This will absolutely and is one of the better performers out of the Pokemon Center ETBs out of the entire era. I think the only downside is the box artwork. I wish, again, was different than the regular ETB, but I think having Mimikyu on there, that design on that box is particularly good for any ETB. So these are doing really, really well. You get, again, a $50 promo in the box right off the bat. There's not many of these available, only 50 here. So if you have them, hold on to them. This is a little pricey to chase after now if you missed out, but compared to ETBs are almost 120 bucks, regular ETBs. So if you want a piece of the set and you missed out on these and you just want that really special collector's item, this is certainly it. So doing really, really well. I can't imagine a world where this doesn't continue to rise slowly over time. 99% return in the last few months. I think it may slow down, but there's just not enough of these on the market, so it may continue in that direction and that speed. Again, looking at the Mimikyu promo, pulling back a little bit on price here, but again, there's only so many of these on the market, and you'd have to be a fool to open a $250 box to liquidate more of these promos. So you're not going to see more of these enter the market. 122 listed here, and again, I think this is a pretty cool Mimikyu. I think this is a pretty cool promo. There's quite a few of the promos from some of these Pokemon Center boxes that I just don't really understand why they're expensive, other than the fact that I know they're rare. From an artwork standpoint, it just doesn't jive. But this is one of them. I think this is pretty cool. So $50 card, almost 40% return in the last few months. Really big spike here in January, or at the beginning of February rather. People picking these up, so doing really well. And of course, the regular ETB. This is a specialty set. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but a specialty set. Most of the cards entering the market would technically be from regular ETBs. That's how we don't get booster boxes for specialty sets. So this has performed extremely well. I was talking about this set, when it was well under $40 a box, saying, "Hey, this is a great set." I mean, we'll look at the cards here in a few moments, but there's just some really, really beautiful cards. We get the baby shinies and everything. So this has performed great. $117 box, 68% return just in the last 3 months, sitting at a very healthy $117 a box. And this is a young set. This is only 13 months old right now at this point, so it's just past a year, so it's very young. We are going to get reprints on this set. We did, I don't want to say get confirmation, but we got some rumors that booster bundles are getting reprinted. And it seems for specialty sets that they go pretty heavy on the booster bundles. We've seen that with 151. That's kind of their way of getting packs in the market. We've seen that with every set. I mean, people are talking about, reprint news. We've been seeing booster bundles for every single set continuously pushed through big box sales channels, including Target, Walmart, so on and so forth. We've seen this with Paldean Fates, a lesser amount, but certainly a lot of these sets, we're seeing a lot of booster bundles move through the market. I just want to compare. I think Paldean Fates ETBs were heavily underprinted, it seems. Just look in the last year. This is a 1-year snapshot of Paldean Fates ETBs versus regular 151 ETBs. So Paldean Fates sold 2,700 in the last year. 151 ETBs, which is older, sold over 3,200 boxes. So it's sold, 151 being an older set, sold more boxes in the last year, has less available on TCG Player. I think the product availability on Paldean Fates ETB seems like it was probably low. I don't want to say it was short printed, but there's just a lot of ETBs, a lot of products in similar size that are just selling way better. I mean, just look at Shrouded Fable. Last year sold over 3,400 boxes. Now it's a cheaper box, a lot more boxes listed on TCG Player, but my point is, I think the availability of Paldean Fates ETBs just may have been short versus other specialty sets on release. And then even booster bundles sold almost 4,700 copies here in the last year. Again, you know, something I need to do more of is looking at these booster bundles, because we're really seeing a lot more of them printed. There seem to be almost, dare I say, continuously printed. We've seen this with 151, where we just see solid every single week. I see listings for these on Target and Walmart. They come up quickly and they go out of stock quickly, but we see them continuously. And it seems that they are just pushing through these big box channels here. Again, almost continuously. I've seen that less so with Paldean Fates, but I've seen a lot of it recently with Surging Sparks. And again, we did get rumors that Paldean Fates booster bundles are getting reprinted here soon. So just a different way of getting packs to the market, a cheaper way of getting packs to the market. Certainly cheaper for the Pokemon Company, right? Per pack. There's a lot more junk and stuff here in the ETBs, so they seem to be ramping up and pushing the booster bundle printing at this point. So just interesting to see. And then again, looking at the booster bundles, doing really well. $60 price point here, right at about $10 per pack. 40% return in the last few months. Okay, now looking at some specialty set comparisons. We have Paldean at 117, 151 at $206, Shrouded at 51, and Prismatic at a monster $140 price point here. And then looking at the total set value, Paldean Fates very healthy, 1,494, right in line with 151, and that's going to kind of be our comparison here when we start looking at values, the set value ratio, as well as the individual singles value distribution here. Shrouded is 748, and a Prismatic at just a monster $8,000. And again, this is just the total addition of all values of every single card in the set combined. And then looking at set value to box cost ratio, this is the total box, the total set value divided by the box cost. It's a way to show value, right? Now, there's other math involved here that we don't take into account, like pull rates, which is why Prismatic is just a monster $57. So there's a lot of value in that set. There's a lot of cards of high value, but good luck trying to pull those. Paldean sitting at a very nice 12.7, so higher is better here. 151 at 7.4, Shrouded at 14.6. So for the cards in this set, and given they've done really well, Paldean's actually performing really, really well, and it's actually decent value even at that expensive price point. It's just a much higher reprint risk than 151 at this point. Looking at card value distribution, the top 20 cards from Paldean Fates. So this is graphed to show the card value, and what we want to see here is just a nice distribution of value, right? You want value when you're pulling cards. That's just something people care about. So we obviously see that massive Bubble Mew sitting at above 350 here, Charizard at 200, the best Charizard in the SV era at this point, and then Gardevoir, and then so on and so forth. So really healthy. You got two chase cards, I would say, at this point, almost a third with the Gardevoir. So there's lots of good chances to pull some really good cards. And again, those baby shinies, which we'll look at here, are really good to pull. I've pulled a couple of those, and they're really exciting to pull. They look really, really good. And just a comparison of that same chart for now looking at comparing the top 20 cards between 151 and Paldean Fates. So Paldean Fates out of the gate in the top 3 spots blows 151 out of the water. That Bubble Mew is carrying a lot of the value. The Bubble Mew and the Charizard are carrying a lot of the set value in this set. So first few cards, Paldean Fates is just crushing it, but then 151 kind of carries things the rest of the way here. So again, both really good sets. They're actually quite close in total set value at this point. So they're both of them are really actually pretty fun to open. There's plenty. It's not chase or bust, which I think is important for set to be beloved by the community. It has to be fun, and if it's just that chase or nothing, then that's just not a great opening experience. All right, looking at the top value cards in the set, top 3 cards in the set, we have the Mew, Bubble Mew as it's lovingly referred to, Charizard, and Gardevoir. Mew is just done unbelievably well. It's pulled back a little bit here in the last month or so, but look at that, just straight up from about 250, 260 all the way up to a high of almost 420 there. It's pulling back, settling around the 360 mark here. It's a beautiful card. I've seen these in person. I don't have one, unfortunately, but it's a fantastic card, and I think it'll do well long term. Again, we are seeing some pullback in singles here, especially the more expensive singles in the SV era. They've just been run up so significantly. Still a 27% return in the last 3 months, though. Charizard sitting at 203, 25% return in the last few months. This is a phenomenal Zard. I wish I had one. It's just, I love that stained glass, cracked glass kind of look to it. Just a beautiful looking card. It's the best Zard in the SV era for sure. I don't even think it's a contest at this point. And selling pretty well for an expensive card like this. Selling an average of 5 per day in the last few months is pretty significant. And again, we are seeing that volume, the pace of card sales start to drop a little bit. And this is not specific to just Paldean Fates. This is something that's happening across the board. Gardevoir on the right hand side here, $92, actually beating out the other two at a 57% return in the last 3 months. I'm not a huge fan of Gardevoir, but I like this card. I think this is a great, beautiful card. I love the nature scene around here. So I actually do like this card. Okay, on to the next 3 cards here. We got a couple baby shinies. So we got Pikachu at 45 bucks, Iono at 37, and Charmander at 27. So we're seeing a little more strength here in some of the cheaper cards. They're not pulling back quite so much, but again, we are seeing the sales pacing here start to slow down a little bit. So those prices may start to come down still. But some beautiful cards, really doing really well. Again, these baby shinies are awesome. They're fantastic to pull. There's quite a bit of nostalgia in this set. There's a lot of 151 baby shinies here, and so there's just something to love for everyone here, all the way down the value chain of cards. Just looking, so this is I wanted to show what the baby shinies look like, because I think they look like people think they're just going to be regular hollows. They're not. They're textured hollows. They look fantastic. It's just you don't get the foiling throughout the entire card, right? So you get it only in the image box there, and it is textured though, so these look really, really good. You don't see that when you're looking at on TCG Player. They look really good in person. If you're into 151, into those nostalgia pulls, these are the way to go. Still some really cheap ones in this era. So again, it gets, just a few I pulled here. A couple of these 151, you get Snorlax here, Ditto, Slowpoke, Gloom. A couple of these I want to put on my buy list here to pick up, because I think they'd be really cute. I just love Tatsuguri and Starmie there. I think all of these would look really, really cool in person in that textured foil. So again, when you're looking through these cards, these are not regular reverse hollows. These are textured, right? So they look really good and premium in person. So if you're collector 151, there's some really good options there for pretty cheap. All right, let's get to the end here on this video talking about Paldean Fates, this 13-month update on this awesome set. If you didn't guess it already, I do love it, and I'm going to give this set an A-. It's a phenomenal set. It's a great experience to open it. I've had fond memories of opening product on release day, and I think it's long-term, it's going to do extremely well. Just remember, we do have reprint risk here. We absolutely have reprint risk here. It's far too young for them to ignore this set. ETB, I don't know what they're going to do with the ETBs. We do not have any confirmation or even rumors that they're going to reprint the ETBs. Again, it's young enough that they could, but with these specialty sets, what they seem to do is they leave the ETB alone like they did with 151, and they start printing the bundles. And that's their way of getting packs in the market. Or these specialty sets, like we saw Crown Zenith, we get a Sea and Sky specialty set, 151 get a Blooming Waters. They do this. It's almost like, it seems to be a methodology now on some of the specialty sets. So either of them has reprint risk. Bundles certainly have a reprint risk. There's going to be more packs coming into market, and I think it's needed. This set is far too young to be this expensive. It's as expensive as Crown Zenith, and Crown Zenith is quite a bit older. So that just does not make sense to me. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but it's going to, I think do well, extremely well long term, but it needs some cards into the market in the short term to just kind of keep things from getting nuts. So if you have boxes, if you're buying boxes, just keep that in mind, that we are likely to see some pullback here as we get reprints in, but that's not a bad thing. Bundles, if you can get an MSRP 27, 28 bucks, just load up on them all day. If you get an opportunity to get ETBs, again, we're seeing some separation between ETBs and booster bundles on these specialty sets, where the ETBs carry a premium. So if we get a pullback in ETBs because of the bundle reprint, I think anything under 100 bucks, 80 bucks would be, I would probably pick up a couple at that point just to get a couple more, because I think it is, again, a really good set. So ETB 12-month target. This one's hard to guess on. The market's, kind of hopefully leveling off a little bit here. It's getting a little nuts. Again, we're getting reprints. I think there's some wallet fatigue going on here. So does this stay above 100? Does it continue to march up? Again, I don't see this surpassing a Crown Zenith. I just don't. It's a fantastic set, but that to me, from a temporal standpoint in terms of time, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So I think with reprints, it could soften back to 100. I don't see any kind of crashing. This is a phenomenal specialty set. If the market continued to march forward, maybe it hits 150 at some point. Okay, before we wrap up the video, let's talk giveaways. So if you've made it this far, this is what we're going to do. It's Rip and Chip giveaway number 2. So this will be 2 packs of Scarlet and Violet base, opened on a YouTube short. And to enter, all you got to do is be subscribed, comment down below. I will record the video, and any polls get mailed to you. Again, no charge, no cost to you, just a little bit of way to give back here to the community. And again, so all you got to do is be subscribed, comment below. 48 hours after this video is posted, I will at random choose a comment via random comment picker and reply to that comment, and we'll get it all set up. So that's it for this video today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, if you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. And if you really like what we're doing, give us a subscribe. And that's it for today on Paldean Fates, and we will see you on the next one. PokeMarketLab out.